So for this transferring demo, the first thing I want to point out is I've got my finished pencil on a sheet of tracing paper, and you've got to think about if you're going to transfer onto a light or a dark page. That will affect the type of transfer sheet you need. So for creating a transfer sheet on the lighter, I'm going to use graphite, and on the darker page, this is white charcoal. So I'll set these aside momentarily, and it's quite simple. All I really have to do is take the stick on its broad edge and just work through covering this page. And we always want to test it before we use it to transfer our finished drawing. So I'll kind of smear the material into the paper, and I'll add another layer of value, and I'll smear it again. So we don't want too much material because everything that we press onto the page is going to be, on our final paper. So now I'll make a white charcoal transfer page, and we do the same process. It'll be harder to see, obviously, but we'll take a fresh paper towel to burnish it into the page. And obviously the way to test this is I'll take a scrap piece of Canson paper. Now this is just drawing paper that I'm using to transfer. You could use nicer paper if you're inclined. So the way that I'm going to test this is I'll just take a ballpoint pen, maybe up in this corner somewhere, and I can just barely see my line that I created. So this should work okay. I think I'll add another layer just to be safe. Okay, so now that I'm up to speed with my transfer pages, I'm going to go back to my final drawing, and we'll transfer onto dark first. So I will tape my page right onto the board. I'm just going to tape this onto my tabletop so it doesn't move around. So you could tape this onto a masonite board. You could get foam core. That's up to you. So now I've got my finished pencil drawing that I want to place onto the Canson paper, and I'll just center it. I'll align the bottom straight edges, just make it consistent across the sides. So I don't want to take the whole thing down. What I'm looking to do is just tape one edge. I do the top edge, you could do left, right, bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to make sure that this doesn't move around on me. So now I'm going to take my lighter transfer sheet, and what you want to do is put this side has the value. I know you can't see it, but this side has the value, so we want to do value side down. I'm going to just place it underneath the drawing. And now, because I want to keep my nice tissue clean, I'll take another piece of tracing paper. This is just so I can see where I've already transferred. I'm not going to ruin my nice drawing. So I'm going to tape this down just like so. So there's a couple approaches here. If you're comfortable using a sharpened Verithin to transfer, that's fine. I usually like a ballpoint pen. It's all up to you. So since I got this one line and we've only got it taped at the top, we can check to see, and we can confirm that our lines are transferring nicely onto the page. So I'll just go real quick just to kind of show you the outline of this. And we can always flip our page up to see where we're at. Now keep in mind, anywhere that my palm is pressing down, I'm going to have these kind of extraneous marks. But since it's white charcoal, we can usually pull it up pretty nicely with a kneaded eraser. And you'd kind of go back and forth checking. I would draw out shadows. You don't have to, but it does help with placement. So kind of always going back and forth. to check our lines are transferring. And then if I was going to use the lighter paper, I just want to do my transfer sheet with graphite. So we'll go through that real quick. Same process. So I've already got a top sheet on my finished drawing. Gonna line the bottom edge. At this point with the work, you can shift it left or right. That's completely up to you based on your composition. So I'm gonna tape this down. And I can take my graphite sheet, flip it face down, right under that image. And let's say I wanted to do the ballpoint. Now the thing is, depending on the type of paper, the ballpoint might wander on you. That's why I say sometimes the Verithin is the way to go. And you'll have more comfortability with that kind of line weight. So like we do, after we get a couple lines in, I just want to flip this up and check to be sure that our image has transferred. And it has, it's very light. We want to keep it light so there's not a lot of erasing when you go back.